Yeah, so pretty. Yeah, the one thing I still would need to hopefully send is you said you had a picture with Michael Jackson, and that would be great to be able to let
Mhm.
people see that, to see that wow, this that you did, you did meet. Apart from the time you met him at the school when you told the story, did you get to meet
Yeah,
Michael at any other time out after that?
no, just the rest of his family after that.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, if anyone that missed it,
You know how MJ was. MJ was super busy. He was
yeah.
super busy, and to be able to get to see him is like, actually I did get to see him a second time when he performed Remember the Time at the Soul Train Awards.
Ah,
So that was like my second time being able to see him.
yeah,
But other than that, to be able to get a chance to see that guy, and I mean that's a chance in a lifetime,
yeah.
because he really was, he was super busy all the time. He
Mm,
was he was man, he would only go places that he had to go to because he
yeah.
had to go receive an award or something.
Yeah, open up a
He would
mall
only
in,
go,
in
yeah,
China, then
yeah,
come. Yeah, that's what they.
yeah, yeah. That's how busy that he was. So for me to be able to see him and to talk to him that first time was amazing. I mean, it was great. And so it
Yeah.
was like I got a chance to even take a little bit of time out of my little tiny busy schedule to this man's big, huge busy schedule, and to be able to see him and have him to notice me and say some words to me, it's amazing. It's wonderful. I'll never forget
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I mean, I remember speaking to John Marie, and who was Teddy's engineer, and he says that yeah, they'll say, okay, Michael, we'll see you in the morning, and he'll take the vocals home, and the next minute they'll see that he's on the news that he's out in China opening up a supermarket,
Yep.
right in the middle of recording.
Right. Yeah.
He's just
Yeah.
like, wait a minute, we just saw you just
We just
yesterday. You
saw it
were,
last night.
and then
Right.
he's off there, does that, and he flies back in, and I think people
Woo.
just didn't realize that he
That's the
doesn't just
busy
show
part.
up for the sake of it.
Man, that's what you really call like really super busy. How are you going to be in the studio with a person one night and then the next night they're in China? For
Yeah,
real?
yeah,
Come on, man. Who
yeah,
does that?
yeah.
That's super busy.
Yeah, there's no one person
Wow.
who's met Michael that has not had anything but the utmost respect for him and stuff. And
Yeah, great guy.
it was really sad that Rolling Stones decided to say that he was the 86th best vocalist of all time. And I'm thinking, so they didn't remember any of the stuff that he did when he was with the Jacksons or when he did his Off the Wall and all that stuff. They just assumed that he couldn't sing and stuff. That they were, and I'm not trying to name other artists like Ariana Grande or Beyonce, even Madonna, even Mary J. As good as they are, but they didn't have the vocal power and soul that Michael started as a
Mhm.
kid and moved up and
No.
knew moved up. It's just that he became too big. He became so big that his song choices changed. But if you look at his performance at the '98 Academy Awards when he sang "Man in the Mirror," I don't think
Yeah.
they've had a more powerful live performance on the Grammys before or since.
No.
But that was him singing
No.
live, not with a tape. But as I
Right.
said, they a lot of these things are just politics and controversies that there's you know you know hopefully they're going to do a good biopic on him. But as I said, my all-time favorite person and artist is Michael, and my biggest regret was I bought my ticket with my wife and my brother to see him on the This Is It tour in London. We got our
Mm.
tickets, and sadly, a week before he was supposed to come, he was taken away. So yeah, but so anytime I hear stories and the fact that you've now recorded my favorite song ever, I'm gonna have to listen and make sure that you guys did it justice.
Oh yeah. We can even talk about it once after you hear it again. We can talk about it.
Yeah,
But yeah, there hasn't been a more powerful entertainer, or we I would say most of us kind of basically say it like this. Luther Vandross was the greatest vocalist of all time.
Mhm.
And you have Michael Jackson, the greatest entertainer of all time.
Mhm.
And that puts it, when you say the greatest entertainer, that's the greatest e- everything in about entertainment. Vocalist, dancer,
Mhm.
humanitarian,
Mhm.
um, just everything about what that man exemplified as an entertainer.
Mhm.
How serious and focused that he was about his harmonies in the studio.
Mhm.
Um, how serious that he was about certain sounds that he wanted musically for his music. I mean, this guy, Michael Jackson, yeah, he's just it, yeah, and that kind of hurt me about where they put him at number 86. I was like,
Mhm.
this is so insane
Yeah.
that uh that's how sleep that these people are.
Yeah.
They're just out of it. They're out of it. They're out of it. I don't know what to call that, but to
Yeah.
have him and that and have to have him in that bracket being number 86,
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
the person that put him in that, they're not human themselves.
Yeah. I mean, they know what they were doing, and they're trying to
Yeah.
discredit him. The question I had then is, I never understood how they could ever um, say that Chris Brown was the closest to Michael. I personally have not understood the comparison. There's no if
Well,
there was anyone that I
well,
could okay, go ahead.
well, kudos to Chris because you saw and what his reaction was. It was as if like he told those people to go to hell
Yeah.
because he's like you can't put me at being the next as Michael Jackson. He was like I'm not falling for that.
Yeah.
And he didn't. So you, that so that's how he pretty much put those people up under the rug by them
Yeah.
trying to call him being the next great guy or whatever. He's like, no, I'm not falling for that. So
Yeah.
kudos to him for not even, you know, going for what they were talking about.
Yeah. The only person that I could think, one second, my I didn't realize my chart thing wasn't plugged in. Hold on 1 second. The
All
only
right.
person that I could think about is Beyonce. Now, I'm not. So I'm not like her biggest fan, and away from the controversy. But when I see her on stage and I see her, so I'm not talking about her music because I think she's had two good albums, despite all the other albums. But she's had two big albums which had some big singles, but they're not. So she doesn't have the music catalog as powerful as say Mary J. Blige, or Anita Baker or Sade, but she, but on stage, I don't know how people could talk about Janet, but even Janet, as much as I love Janet, I don't know anyone who I've seen on stage as a female that does what she does. She goes all out. If I was to think about, okay, over the last 20 years, who have I seen on stage, in concerts and in performance that has elements of what Michael would do? I think she's probably the only one that I could think of. Just the package of singing, dancing, the whole routine, and just taking it to another level. I don't know, as a performer yourself, an entertainer, you're probably better to judge it than I am. But what are your thoughts?
There's 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 nobody.
No, 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 no,
There's,
not at Michael's level, but anyone. When if we're looking at anyone who, out of all the performers and entertainers we've seen over the
I
last 30,
can't see them. I can't see them nor hear them. I can't.
no, no, not as close. I don't.
Just
No,
can't.
no one can touch him. But if there was anyone that's on second tier and we're looking at the best of the rest, who who I mean, I'm not talking about, Prince is a different type of entertainer. He was more of a musician and a composer and all that stuff and stuff. So he doesn't entertain like Michael did. But I'm talking about the best of the rest. You had the Ushers and you had whether you're talking about Chris Brown or Neo stuff.
If it's gonna be anybody else, in my opinion, I would say his brothers. That's it. Because that's where he got it from.
Okay.
That's where he came from.
But on stage,
I'm
so
not
when you look on
not
stage and see them perform and dance and stuff.
everybody is just okay. I mean, they're great. I mean, you have Michael Jackson and then you have everybody else. That's just what it is. You have Michael Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
He's the king of bubblegum, uh rock, soul, R&B, pop.
Mm.
There's no one else who has those titles.
Yeah, yeah.
And
No,
Michael has all of those titles because he was doing bubblegum when he was a kid, and he
yeah,
became number one at that.
yeah. Yeah, as I said,
Beat It was a number one rock song.
yeah, I've no,
I mean,
yeah, I know, I
ain't no
look,
and
yeah,
every that's it.
no,
It's a wrap.
yeah, as I said, Jay-Z was crazy enough to say that, oh yeah, that Beyonce has achieved more than Michael because
He only said that. He only said that
she's
because
done
that's his
Coachella.
wife.
Yeah, because
That's it.
she's done Coachella
That's his wife.
and Michael has never done a Coachella. And I'm thinking, okay, he's sold out in Russia,
Yeah, Michael didn't
in
do a Coachella because
Poland.
he didn't. Yeah, Michael didn't do Coachella because he didn't have to.
Yeah, Coachella, but it's like good doing
Even
any
if,
music
but if,
festival. It's
but if,
just
yeah, and if he would have done it, while he was alive, man, please,
But it's too
everybody
small.
and their
It's
mama
too
would have
small
showed
for
up.
him. Yeah, but it's too small for him. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
he did where was that? Was that in Poland? He did that HBO special. Um, he just you'd see hundreds of thousands of people. So and he can go anywhere in the world and stuff. So there is, I know he was just saying it but no, but I was just saying that I, as much as I do see Beyonce on stage and think, wow, she's actually she's an amazing performer, and
He's amazing.
actually
Yeah,
I don't see, I don't see, um, I don't see any of the guys from Usher, Chris, able to compete with what she does on the stage, um, and maybe Janet in her heyday. But the fact that Beyonce can perform but also sings live, it just seems as if you know, she just seems to just perfect, continually perfect her craft. So that was just what I was just seeing,
yeah.
and she always said that she was the biggest Michael Jackson fan. She just emulated everything from him. So that's her role
I
model.
mean, yeah, of course. I mean, even Michael said it best because even he did it. And he said, "To be great, you have to study the greats that were before you."
Mm,
So he did that himself as he would study Jackie Wilson and James Brown.
mm,
So that's just, that's what in order to be great, you have to get it from somewhere.
yeah.
You got to get it from somewhere. And then I mean, if especially where you're at as a vocalist, you have to study the people where your vocal ability is.
Mm.
If you have a big voice, then you need to study people like James Ingram, Michael McDonald,
I love Mike
uh,
McDonald.
Donny Hathaway. You got to
Mm,
study people like Johnny Gill. You got to study people like Teddy Pendergrass. You got
mm.
to study people like uh uh what's my other guy's name? Um Jeffrey Osborne. You
Oh
have to
wow.
study those people. That's where my voice is vocally. So I got
Mm,
a lot of vocal teachers. But then also too, I can sing high with the falsetto. So I got to study people also like El DeBarge and his brother Bobby, and then I got to study Philip Bailey. So that's because that's where my voice is in the
Mm.
falsetto category. So I kind of got a long range to be able to study as far as like a lot of singers.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at. And so if any other vocalist is coming, they have to figure out where they're at vocally and study those people.
Mm.
If they have a mid-range voice, they got to study people like Michael Jackson. They got to study Stevie Wonder. They got to study, Tevin Campbell. They got to study uh uh any of those people that have mid-range voices. They got to study all of those singers.
Yeah.
But then if you're an entertainer, if you like to perform and dance, even if you got a big voice, you got to study Michael Jackson.
It's true. It's
You
true.
got to study his brothers. You have a long way to go. So it's like, in order to be great, you got to study the greats before you. I mean, and
Yeah.
you can't, you can't, you can't do anything lesser than that.
Yeah.
You got to study the people who were great before you, and that's how you become your own self.
Yeah.
Once you study them, and then you start doing you, and that comes out within the studio, then you figure out that that's where your voice is at.
Yeah. I mean, well said. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for being part of the Halftime Chat community. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. But most importantly, why don't you consider being a member? That's a way of supporting the channel, but also getting a lot of videos ahead of time, a lot of behind the scenes stuff, and some exclusive content that doesn't get shared. But anyway, thanks for watching, and thanks for being part of Halftime Chat.
Sweet.